Greetings, YouTube. Can an argument sway your decision making? I think that's a really important question to be asking. We know for a fact that for a lot of people, if you push back against their worldview, they will entrench themselves. Even if you're pushing back with calm, cool, collected data and research, and you have all the receipts, they still are going to entrench themselves because it's no longer just a topic of discussion. It is now part of their identity. It is part of their tribe. So if you say it's more intelligent to do A, B, or C, they're going to fight you tooth and nail, even if they would benefit from A, B, and C being implemented. Because at some point in their life, they have been taught or convinced through family connections, through social support, through coercion, herd mentality, who knows, that the best policy is D. Even if D stands for death cult, they might still support that over ABC, even though ABC would make their lives better, make their lives of their children better, and make sure that the world is still around so they can have grandchildren. So a lot of those folks cannot be swayed by an argument. But if you present me with enough information about something, I can have my views changed. I have had them changed. What I believe today in 2025 is not what I believed in 1985. I am a totally different person, not just physically, but temperamentally. My worldviews are completely different. I was conservative and an atheist. Now I'm a progressive social democrat and a pagan. Those are significantly different worldviews. And I got here by achieving the radical concept of understanding that other people are people, that they have complex lives. And instead of trying to put them into categories or making sweeping statements, I try to make my judgments on their actions and their words. So what they're thinking and feeling, I don't know that. I'll never know what they're thinking and feeling. And I don't think I should conjecture what they're thinking and feeling. But I can watch what they say and watch what they do and judge that. And I did lots of that over time. And I realized that, wow, this stuff over here that I used to think was acceptable, or at least stuff I could ignore, it isn't. In fact, it's a really negative way to live, a negative view to hold, because it marginalizes people, it discriminates against them, it dehumanizes them. So I moved away from those kinds of things. And I tried to become more accepting of the world around me, which is eventually why I ended up where I am and striving to be an ally to different ethnicities, trying to become an ally to the LGBTQ community, trying to be an intersectional feminist, trying to become anti-racist, not just not racist. Doing what I can to fight back against the systems that I thought were absolutely acceptable. I was a fish swimming in a sea that is American culture, filled with discrimination and bigotry, and I never saw it. And now I do. And for me, it wasn't somebody convincing me so much as me over time doing enough research. And it took decades, in some cases, for me to finally begin to see the world through the eyes of someone else and see the damage I was doing, even if I was just being passive in this particular situation. I was still letting someone else suffer through my own inaction. So I guess the arguments that swayed me were the words I read, the research I did, because I'm a data junkie. I got ADHD and I'm autistic, and I've got access to a library of books and the internet, and I just kept consuming things. And as more and more things got consumed, I saw more and more of the bullshit that I had been convinced as a kid was the way the world works. And it isn't. It doesn't have to be the way the world works. So while no one argued with me directly, I still got to where I am because I listened to the thoughts and feelings of others. Because women have been telling men for centuries what asses they are. Black people have been telling white people for centuries the damage they've done. So have indigenous people and gay people and trans people. We have their words. We can look at them. We can look into the past and see what they said, and so much of it was just ignored. And those were the arguments that swayed me. The words on the page or in the documentaries I watched. But sometimes you need to listen to somebody put things together in a cogent way. And so there are times when listening to a person give an argument can actually help. And if you can't be swayed, then you really should be asking why. Why can't your opinion on something be changed? What is it about that change that you resist? What is it about that change that scares you? Because I think you're going to find at the heart of all that resistance is fear. And if we can deal with that, if we can fight that fear, dissect it, pull it apart, find its cause, and then address it, we'll all be swayed when it's the appropriate time to be swayed.